Welcome to the Thrift Store Kitchen Review, where I test all the weird junk from the thrift store so you don't have to. Welcome to today's edition of the Thrift Store Kitchen Review. Everybody loves brownies. They're easy to make. You just buy a box of the batter mix at the store, you make it, and then you cook it in the oven. Well, maybe there's another way to do it, and I think I might have found it. This here would be the Ultimate Brownie Maker by Bella, and I got this at a Goodwill in Cartersville, Georgia for only $2. Yes, the price tag says $3.99, but it was half off red tags that day. So let's go ahead and examine the Ultimate Brownie Maker. It's got your standard waffle iron setup. It plugs in. It has two lights, one indicating that it's on and the other indicating that it's all the way heated. You probably can see that the outside of the machine isn't in the best of condition, but when you open it up, the inside is almost pristine. It's got your standard two heated plates, and in the middle it has this. Now the manual refers to it as a cutter, but being that it's left inside while it's cooking, it's more of a separator. Basically what you do, you make your batter, you fill all the slots, and then you close the lid and let it cook for about 8 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go whip up some brownie batter, and we're going to see how good of brownies the Ultimate Brownie Maker actually makes. The Brownie Maker is plugged in and fully preheated. Once I plugged it in, it took like no time at all to get ready. It only took probably about 2 minutes from when I plugged it in until the light came on and I heard the click. So what I need to do is I need to open it. It did say to grease the plates and the separator, so I'm going to use some cooking spray. Get that. And then it said to fill each of the holes with about a heaping tablespoon each of brownie batter. Now I'm going to have to do this quickly because this thing is already hot. It would make more sense to start it when it's not preheated, but what can we do? So 1, 2, making a little bit of a mess because I'm having to work so quickly to get in there and get this lid shut. So let me close the lid, and it says these should be ready in about 8 minutes. So in a couple minutes we'll check them, and hopefully in 8 minutes they'll be ready. Okay, so we're about 4 minutes in now, so let's open up the machine and just take a quick peek at these. I mean, those are cooking. Those are cooking fast. By 8 minutes, these should be done. Let me close it and we'll be back in just a few. Okay, it's now been 8 minutes. Let's open the machine again. Have a skewer right here, so let me dip it in. That is definitely not done. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, there's still batter coming out. Now it does recommend at this point to leave it cooking for about a minute with the top open, so I'm going to do that, and then we'll see how they look at that point. Okay, let's check again. A little bit on there, but it's not really batter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unplug the machine. And then I need to remove the separator. Luckily, that did come right out. So I'm going to put that here. And then I have the spatula. I'm going to see if I can get these brownies up onto the plate without messing them up. That burn, those early ones are hard to get out. The further in you can get, the easier they are to pick up. Okay, so they do look decent. They do look done. I'm going to give them a second to cool and set, and then I'm going to try one. Okay, so they've had a little bit of time to cool down. Let me grab one and take a bite. That actually came out really good. Not too done, not burnt, anything like that. I'd say this thing works. So I've gone ahead and cooked regular brownies with this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and clean this up again, clean that separator up, and then we're going to try cookie top brownies and see how those turn out. I've cleaned up the machine, and now we're going to see how well it works with the cookie top batter. Now, I'm going to deviate from how it's supposed to be done for a minute here because preparing this one is going to take a little bit longer, and considering that the machine heated up very quickly when I plugged it in order to make these, I'm not going to preheat it first. I'm going to fill the machine and then I'm going to plug it in. So I'm going to spray it down again. And then I'm going to fill the cups, but not as much as I did the first time around with the regular brownie batter. So I managed to miracle just enough batter out of that bowl to actually fill those. Now I have the cookie topping, and I'm going to go ahead and put some on top of each brownie. Doing the cookie top ones is much easier in the regular oven, but I'm doing it here just to see if it can be done, not whether to see if it should be done this way. Okay, so all the brownies have a cookie top, so I'm going to go ahead and close the lid, plug it in, and we're going to check this in just a few moments. Let's go ahead and do our initial check of the cookie brownies. I mean, they're looking pretty good so far. It's kind of weird how you can't see any of the chocolate chips in there because they're definitely in the batter, but we'll let it cook the remainder of the time and see how these turn out. All right, time to take what's hopefully our final look at the cookie brownies. I mean, they're looking good. Wipe that off a little. Oh yeah, those are definitely ready. So let me go ahead and unplug it and remove the separator. That one is stuck in there, but I'll just go ahead and push that brownie out over the plate. Make my job easier from here on. Yeah, it's getting the first couple out that's a pain. The rest of them aren't so bad. Kind of damaging this one. Yeah, I messed that one up. Messed a couple of those up actually. But I'm going to again let these cool for a minute and then I'm going to take a bite. Okay, the brownies have had some time to cool. Let me grab one and take a quick bite. Honestly, not bad. These actually came out really well too. Even though with the cookie top ones it would be easier to cook it the standard way, they definitely came out quite delicious. So after testing this to make brownies, now I'm going to clean it up one more time, and I have one final test for the Ultimate Brownie Maker. I've gotten the Ultimate Brownie Maker cleaned up, plugged back in, and reheated. Now it's time to find out, will it glizz? So let me go ahead and open it up. Now, the easy way to do this would just be to remove the cutter and put the hot dogs in there. But what would be the fun in that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the hot dogs on top of the cutter. Get it on there just a little. Close the lid. Push it down a little so the cutter gets into the hot dog some and let it cook. Now while the hot dog's cooking, I'd kind of like to talk about the immediate future of the channel. November and December are just crazy months for me. They are my busiest months of the year. I work, I have a kid, just a lot to do. So our current format of trying to put out a full review video every week is gonna have to change just a little. Now, I have multiple options here. Number one is I could keep putting it out, but it's going to be rushed, watered down. It's not going to be good quality. Number two, I could try to keep doing the videos how I'm used to, but I'm absolutely going to run myself into the ground trying to do that. So basically what I've decided my best option is going to be maybe to cut back the full review videos to every couple weeks. But in the interim between, keep releasing other content. If you haven't noticed, I do have a short section as well where I post quick videos of stuff I find when I'm hunting for things for the channel, little things like that, and then maybe just some other videos like using products I've already reviewed, stuff like that. We're not going anywhere. I'm just making sure that I can maintain the quality of the channel while maintaining my life at the same time. So let's go ahead and open this up and see how the hot dog's looking. Yeah, that's looking good. So let me go ahead and turn it. Get the other side, move it over here so it doesn't cut all the way through. Close the lid again. Get the tops of the hot dogs. You know, let that side cook for just a minute. Let's check it again. All right. What I'm going to do, I think, because I can get more closure on the lid on the back side rather than the front, is I'm going to swap the places of the hot dogs. Close this again. That one just keeps wanting to roll. Want to get the top. Stay in place. There we go. Let's see how we're looking now. Yeah, those are starting to get done. Try to get the sides too. Get these parts that aren't quite browned yet. Every time I close this lid, they want to roll forward. See, look at that. I got an idea. What I can do, why don't I grab the hot dog with the glove? I should be grabbing the cutter with the glove. Put them face down here. Then put the cutter on top to hold them in place. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta get creative. So I would imagine these are about done. Let me open this up, take the cutter out, get these on the bun. Oh yeah, these are definitely done. Yeah, look at that. Close this and unplug it. Gonna have to wipe that down and get the grease out of there in a minute. And let me take a bite. Came out pretty good, well cooked. So I am going to eat my hot dogs and wipe down the brownie maker, and then we're going to be back with our final verdict on the ultimate brownie maker. So what is my final verdict on the ultimate brownie maker? Well, this is a device I didn't exactly go into using with very high expectations, but it managed to exceed all expectations, especially considering I only paid $2 for it. It works great. It works efficiently. I was thinking it would probably overcook the brownies, which it didn't. You just gotta keep an eye on them and they come out just fine. It's honestly a great machine. I had no problems with it. This is not one I'm going to get rid of after having used it. This is one I'm going to keep. I like it. There's plenty of them out there, so you can probably find one just as cheap or around the same price. Usually these waffle iron style devices I am not a fan of because they barely work and they're just cheaply made garbage, but this one here is actually very good and I do recommend it. Well, thank you for joining us on today's edition of the Thrift Store Kitchen Review. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on the Facebook, linked in the description below. Tell your friends about us. Drop us a line down there in the comments section. Be sure to get out there and support your local thrift store. And have a wonderful day.